Hello, third graders. We are going to talk today about point of view, and that is very important when you are reading both fiction and nonfiction text. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between fiction and nonfiction, but point of view is kind of a big topic that you really need to understand. And before we even talk about point of view, I really want to review something that I'm sure you talked about in first grade, second grade, and we've certainly touched on it this year as well, and that is fact and opinion. Okay, remember, a fact is something that you can prove, something that you know to be true. You read it in a nonfiction book, you looked it up on the internet at multiple sites, and you know that it is a true fact. Okay, for example, whales live in the ocean. It's a fact. It's just how it is. Okay, and opinions are different because opinions can change. Okay, it's how someone thinks. It's how they feel. Okay, and when we're talking about point of view, it's important that you think about opinion, okay, because point of view and characters' opinions kind of go hand in hand. All right, so let's talk a little bit about point of view now. Okay, when you're thinking about point of view, when you're listening, when you're reading a story, you need to think about how a character feels, how a character thinks about certain things in the text. Okay, so really you're thinking about the character's opinions, okay? Or, you know, if it's a nonfiction story, you're thinking more about the author's opinions of the facts that he's giving you, okay? So to look, when you're trying to figure out the point of view for different characters, for the author, for whomever in the story, you need to pick out some opinion words, okay? So you're looking for maybe words like best, beautiful, worst, I like it, I dislike it, I hate it, I believe that, or I feel that, okay? So for example, if we had a character who said, California is the most beautiful state, the weather is perfect, everyone there is nice, you can always go to the beach. Well, we could understand very clearly, make that inference that that character's point of view on California is that they think it's the greatest state, they would like to live there. Okay, so you're really trying to look for these opinion words to kind of make some inferences, put two and two together to figure it out, to figure out the author or the characters or the author's point of view in a story. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about whose point of view you really need to be looking for when you're reading. Okay, and that's kind of where it's going to change between fiction and nonfiction text. Okay, in nonfiction text, you're not usually going to have characters. Now you can, especially in biographies and things like that. But for nonfiction, we're really just talking about the author's point of view. Okay, the author, of course, is the person that wrote the story. So you're going to try to kind of pick out little details, little clues about how the author is presenting you these facts, this new information in your nonfiction story, and try to see if you can figure out how he feels about the topic. Okay, for example, in our Big Talkers article about the elephants, the author made it pretty clear that his point of view that was on elephants is that elephants are beautiful animals and we need to work to protect them. He talked a lot about how, you know, people are killing them and how that wasn't a good thing. He didn't believe that people should be doing that. He believed that people should get in trouble for killing the elephants for their tusks and things like that. So we can very easily make an inference to figure out the author's point of view is that he really likes elephants and he feels like they need to be protected and humans should stand up and help them. Okay, so when you're talking about point of view and nonfiction, you're really thinking about the author's point of view. Okay, now take it a step further, figure out the author's point of view, make that inference, and then think, well, what's my point of view? And see if you can compare and contrast your point of view on that topic versus the author's point of view. Okay, and that's really, again, going to be done a lot in nonfiction. Okay. Now, in fiction text, we're not thinking as much about the author. We're thinking more about the characters, the people in the story. Okay, what are their likes? What are their dislikes? How do they feel about different things that are happening in the story? Okay, and also another important point of view for fiction is the narrator. Okay, the narrator, of course, is the person that is telling the story. Now, they could be a character in the story, but they don't always have to be. Okay, so the narrator, of course, is a person that is telling the story. Okay, so let's take a look at some point of views that are important for us to think about in fiction stories, okay? Of course the characters, of course the narrators, okay? You're going to take it one step further because you all are just that awesome. And you're going to think, compare character versus character. Well, this character really did not think that it was worth the time to make a house of bricks. He thought, I'm just going to throw some sticks together, that'll work. Well, this character thought, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to make a house of bricks, okay? So you're really comparing characters' point of views, how they feel on topics, okay? What they think about different things that are happening in the story. Take it one step further, character versus you. Are you similar? Remember, similar. Are you alike to some of the characters and how you feel? Or are you different? Okay, contrast your point of view and some of the characters' points of view. Okay, and then also in fiction, character versus the narrator. The person that is telling the story, again, it can be a character in the story, but it does not have to be a character in the story, versus any other characters that are in the story. Okay, pick a topic. How do they feel about something, and make those inferences to figure out their point of view, how they feel about different things. Okay. Now I want to give you just a quick example, and we're going to do some more, of course, in class. And I'm going to show you this cartoon. Bear with me while I get it up on the screen. Okay, so look at this cartoon. Here's a picture of a boy, and he's listening to music. Okay, and I'm going to think, what's his point of view on the music that he's listening to? Well, let's see. I see. There are music notes here. I see he's got a smile. Okay, I see he's turning it up, it looks like. And I know when you're smiling, you're usually going to be happy. And I know when you're turning the music up, I know you're probably liking the song that you're hearing, right? And then he has a little speech bubble that says, "This is my favorite song." Well, I can put all of these clues together and figure out his point of view on the music. Okay, he likes whatever music he's listening to. He wants it to be loud. What were my clues to figure out his point of view? Well, he's turning it up. He's got that smile on his face, and he's saying, "This is my favorite music." Okay, so my favorite song. Okay, so his point of view is, hey, loud music is awesome. This kind of music is the best. Okay, now we can look at this next one right here. I'll leave it right here. Okay, now it looks like, in here, it looks like his dad came in. Okay, now let's see. Does his dad share the same point of view about this loud music as the boy does? Let's look at the clues. He's definitely does not have a smile on his face. His ears, he's covering his ears with his hands. And he's yelling. It looks like he's yelling. He's saying, "Turn that noise down. Why does this singer have to yell?" Okay, well, if he didn't even call it music, he called it noise. So that's a big clue that tells me he probably doesn't like it. Okay, and he's saying, why does he have to yell? Well, I can make an inference here that the dad's point of view is very different from the boy's point of view, because I can clearly tell that he does not think this is good music. He does not like loud music. Okay, so you really have to make inferences. Pick out those clues from the text to figure out how the characters feel about different things in the text. Okay, and we're going to be looking at some stories when you come to class tomorrow. So well, maybe not tomorrow, but this week. So please be prepared to talk about point of view. Okay, all right, bye guys, see you tomorrow. Thank you.